purity, he didn't report back. He fell to his knees, he wept, he changed, he came to heaven. And that's when Michael stepped in. For the last 2 hours, the archangel has been whispering to your spirit. You felt it, that stirring in your chest, that sudden pause, that unspoken awareness. But there's a wall around your heart built from betrayal, guarded by disappointment. And now, the Lord says, let the truth do what no sword could. Let it tear down the wall not by force, but by revelation. You are not alone, you never were. Heaven is watching, not to judge you, but to rescue you. So, now, chosen one, if you feel this message piercing through the noise, type Amen in the comments. Let it be your yes to the divine. Let it be your moment of awakening. And stay with me until the end, because we will close with a powerful prayer, one that may be the beginning of your healing. Let this be the moment where understanding enters, where light begins to press through the fog. There is more to this story than you know. The one who sent the investigator did not begin in malice. No, it began with questions, with a wounded heart, with the kind of longing that grows louder in silence. They didn't know how to ask why you vanished, why your presence shifted, why your spirit felt unreachable. And so, in fear of rejection, they chose a path that was safer for them, but not sacred, not right, not blessed. Their choice breached something far more serious than privacy. It crossed into the realm of spirit. And now they are no longer just curious, they are afraid, for they feel the weight of what they have touched. And heaven watches. You may feel betrayed by this. It is human to do so. But hear this, you are protected entirely. Not just in the physical world, but in spirit, in soul, in emotion, in energy. Your name is known in realms unseen. That is why the investigator stopped, why Michael was dispatched. Why you are hearing these words at this exact point in your timeline. The covering over you was never lifted, not even once. Even when you were weeping into your pillow, even when the silence of unanswered prayers felt unbearable, you were not abandoned. The Most High was orchestrating something hidden, something holy, something healing. What was done in the dark was never beyond reach. And now, someone is coming forward, not with pride, but with shame, with eyes lowered and a heart heavy with the realization of what they nearly lost. They thought they had lost you forever, and, in desperation, they tried to pull you back through control rather than truth, but they misjudged who you've become. Because you are no longer who you were when they left. You were reshaped by fire, not consumed, but refined. They saw weakness, heaven saw destiny. And so, you were taken into the sacred quiet, where the world could not touch you, and there you were remade. And now, you are being called to respond, not with emotion, but with discernment, not with anger, but with clarity. You were never meant to be observed from the shadows. You were meant to shine in the open. You were not created to be a puzzle. You were created to be a revelation. And that revelation has already begun. The investigator? He encountered something he could not explain. It happened in a single, still moment. A photograph. You weren't smiling. You weren't even aware. But something in your face, your eyes, stopped him cold. He said it felt like a prayer was looking back at him. Not a prayer spoken, but one lived. That image didn't leave him. It haunted him, not with fear, but with conviction. He was sent to study your movements, but what he found was stillness that shook him, peace that pierced him. He came for information, but he encountered presence. Because the presence of the Lord rests on you, not for show, not for pride, but because you are marked. Marked by the oil of purpose, the fragrance of mercy, the fire of calling. And that man, he could no longer do the job. Instead of reporting to the one who hired him, he slipped away and left a note. Anonymous, small, quiet, but heaven saw it. It read, "The one you're searching for is not hiding anything, but you are. Stop before heaven gets involved." And that's when the spiritual realm moved. That's when Michael stepped forward, assigned not just to defend, but to announce, because this moment was always coming. You felt the shifting, haven't you? The strange weight in the air, the way people react differently. Some are drawn, some recoil, some look confused when they're near you. It is not your imagination, it is the echo of your assignment awakening. It's not pressure, it's purpose pulling you forward. Something is being stirred in the unseen. A storm is ending, a door is unlocking, and yes, someone from your past is approaching again, but they are not who they were, and neither are you. Do not fear this return. Do not receive it blindly. For this time, you don't open the door with hope alone, you open it with wisdom, the kind that only grows through wilderness. And now, look back. Do you remember how they misunderstood you? How your silence was called cold? How your calmness made people uneasy? That was never your flaw. That was your anointing. You carried a peace they had not yet earned, and that peace provokes the unhealed. They thought they left you broken, but you rose. You see, they walked away expecting you to crumble, but instead, you were rerouted. You began again, in secret, with God, with prayers whispered through pain, with a strength built in solitude. And now, the time of hiding has ended. Let this truth settle in you. You are not fragile, you are fire. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper, not in this season, not ever again. This is the beginning of clarity. And heaven is not just watching, it is speaking. What has unfolded thus far, the whispers in the dark, the strange pulling of your spirit, the quiet unraveling of secrets, has not been random. The Most High has orchestrated this moment with precision. Every delay, every silence, every shadowed truth was building toward this. A reckoning, yes, but also a release, a divine unveiling. Now, hear these words, not with suspicion, but with reverence. Forgive them. Yes, even the one who trespassed against your privacy. Even the one who watched from the edges instead of stepping forward in truth. Not because what they did was right, but because what God is doing with your life now requires clean hands and a pure heart. Bitterness cannot walk with glory. Wounds cannot rule where wisdom is meant to rise. Do you remember when Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold like property, forgotten by the ones who should have protected him? And yet, when they stood before him years later, broken and desperate, he did not speak from pain, he spoke from power. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Genesis 50-20. And so must you. Speak from the place that has been built through fire, not fear. This story is not about revenge. It is about realignment. It is about heaven exposing what needed to be seen so that you would stop doubting your inner knowing, because you were right all along. Every time your spirit stirred, every time you sensed something hidden, you weren't imagining things, you were discerning truth. But the ache of being dismissed, of being labeled too emotional or too sensitive, caused you to second-guess your own discernment. And yet God was whispering all along, you are not too much, you are tuned in. And now He is speaking louder. The next few days may feel strange. A message may arrive, a voice from the past may try to return, and while your first instinct may be to recoil, resist, or even retaliate, don't pause. You are not who you were when they left you. You have nothing to prove, nothing to fear, because truth is no longer hidden, it is working on your behalf. This isn't just about a confession, it's about correction, the divine kind. You were never meant to live under the eyes of those who study your life like a puzzle. You are not data, you are not a case, you are called. And the Lord is closing the eyes of those who tried to peer into your future without spiritual permission. The secret things belong to the Lord our God. Deuteronomy 29:29. Your destiny is sacred, and it does not belong in the hands of the curious, only in the hands of the Creator. Even now, Archangel Michael stands beside you, not merely to shield, but to scan, watching how your spirit responds, waiting for the alignment of your heart to the moment heaven is ready to act. Because when that moment comes, when your yes is no longer whispered through fear, but declared through faith, everything will shift. What you thought would take years will collapse into days. What seemed impossible will appear naturally. Doors will open without knocking. And the one who tried to understand you by watching from afar will either retreat in silence or return in surrender. Because when God moves to defend you, no one walks away unchanged. And yes, this may feel like a movie, but don't be fooled. You are not playing a part. You are the plot twist. The moment that interrupts the cycle, the shift that others didn't see coming. You were never just a character in someone else's story. You are the revelation in God's story. The proof that His hand still moves, His voice still speaks, and His love still rewrites broken narratives. And though your heart may still tremble, though questions linger and emotions rise, do not confuse transition with chaos. What feels unfamiliar is simply your soul stepping into clarity. For clarity is the inheritance of the faithful, and it is being poured over you now. Even the one who started this chain of events, the one who thought hiring someone to figure you out would bring peace, never understood what they were truly searching for. They weren't looking for facts. They were searching for peace, and they thought you carried it. They were right. But peace cannot be stolen. It cannot be bought. It cannot be tracked. Peace is only received when you stop running from truth. And now, beloved, a sacred instruction. Tonight, when all is quiet and the noise of the world fades, make space for the presence of the divine. Sit with no distractions, no screens, no sound, just stillness. And when the moment feels right, speak these words, not with your mouth alone, but with your entire being. I allow truth to rise. I release fear. I forgive those who trespassed. I welcome protection. I trust divine timing. I am safe. I am seen. I am ready. And when those words rise, something in the atmosphere will shift. You may not see it instantly, but before this week ends, you will recognize it. A name, a moment, a conversation, a message that lands with too much weight to be coincidence. Don't call it strange. Call it God. And now, with truth laid bare and shadows dissolved, you stand at the edge of something sacred. You are not alone. You never were. Archangel Michael, warrior of light, has been walking beside you in silence, clearing unseen paths, dismantling traps before you ever sensed danger. Not with thunder, but with precision. With the quiet strength of divine justice that does not shout, but speaks with unshakable peace. What you feel stirring inside, that sudden stillness, that breath of certainty, Is your spirit remembering what it always knew? You are covered. This is the turning point. The truth is no longer hiding. The man was caught. The intentions behind the watching eyes have been exposed, and yet what happens now does not depend on what was done to you. It depends on how you rise from it. Not with fear, not with retaliation, but with the calm knowing that none of this was outside the orchestration of the Lord your God. You were never at the mercy of other people's choices. You've simply been unaware of just how deeply you've been protected all along. But now, that awareness returns, and with it comes acceleration. Where there was silence, there will be recognition. Where there was rejection, there will be remembrance. Even those who misunderstood you, who spoke your name carelessly, will begin to sense your shift without knowing why. Not because you're louder, but because your life has become evidence of glory. Still, as you rise, remain grounded. With every elevation comes exposure, and curiosity will grow, but no weapon, no whisper, no watching eye will touch what God has sealed. I have engraved you on the palms of my hands, says the Lord in Isaiah 49:16. Your name is protected, your path is locked with heaven's authority, and what he has written, no voice can revoke. And here lies a quiet miracle. The man who once followed you, who traced your movements for someone else's gain, he's changing. Not because he was caught, but because he encountered something in you that pierced through the emptiness of his own life. You became a mirror, not of shame, but of truth. And now, in quiet places, he searches for God, not for information. He reads the word, he prays, not because you preached, but because your presence preached without a word. This is what it means to be chosen, to walk through the world carrying healing that slips into rooms unnoticed, to disturb darkness simply by existing. You didn't just survive the watching, you transformed it. So, prepare. Spiritually, emotionally, even physically. Because what's coming next will not look like revenge, it will look like restoration, not loud, but life-changing. Within days, something will happen. A conversation, a message, an invitation, subtle but sacred. It will not be random. It will be a divine setup, a door disguised as a moment. Respond with your spirit, not your scars. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You don't need to defend who you are. You carry the presence of God, and that presence will speak before you ever say a word. And there's more. Michael has seen the nights you wept into silence, the prayers you thought evaporated before they reached heaven, the way you kept loving even when it was not returned. And now he watches as God begins to repay you, not with vengeance, but with multiplication. I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. Joel 2:25. What was taken wasn't lost. It was returned to God to be rebuilt in a way that cannot be stolen again. And now you are not walking in circles, you are breaking cycles, without fanfare, without announcement, just by choosing to heal. When you forgave even quietly, even uncertainly, you opened a door in the spirit, and heaven recorded it. That shift, it changed everything. Because your story, yes, your story is becoming someone else's survival guide. What was meant to expose you is becoming the reason God will elevate you. Your name is being spoken in places your feet haven't touched yet. Doors are opening, hearts are preparing. And not for the version of you that shrank to be accepted, but for the real you, the one who hears heaven and carries it. You don't just receive miracles, you become one. And now, even the one who tried to observe from a distance will witness your rise, not in silence, but in awe. You are not returning to who you were. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. This is not a comeback. This is your becoming. You are under God's wing, and you are safe. So now, with the truth unveiled and your spirit awakened, you stand not at the end, but at the threshold of something new. The message has been delivered, the veil lifted. But heaven is not finished speaking, because this was never just about someone watching you. It was never just about secrets being exposed. This was always about you and the parts of your soul that have been waiting to be reclaimed. You see, for too long, you've dimmed your light for rooms that feared it. You've softened your voice in conversations that never deserved your silence. You've tolerated behavior that bruised your heart and called it love. You've convinced yourself that playing small was noble, that disappearing into the background was safe. But what if survival was never your purpose? What if the pain you endured wasn't punishment, but preparation? What if this whole story was not about protecting your past, but about activating your future? The Lord, your God, is not just waking you up. He is restoring the parts of you that have been buried under disappointment, fear, and false humility. He is calling back your power, not for vengeance, but for alignment. Because you were never made to blend in. You were born to carry light into places where light had long been missing. Your kindness is not weakness. Your empathy is not a liability. These are sacred traits forged in spiritual fire. Even those who tried to reduce you to an assignment felt it. That undeniable presence, that quiet holiness, that echo of heaven in your smile, your sorrow, your stillness. What they found wasn't information, it was an encounter. And encounters like that change people. The person who tried to monitor your story has stumbled into something they can't unsee. They came to extract secrets and instead found divinity wrapped in your humanity. And now, heaven is using your life as a mirror to confront them, not to punish, but to redirect. Because even those who move in shadows are not beyond reach. That's how redemptive the love of God is. Your journey has become more than personal, it has become prophetic, because the very life that was once observed with suspicion is now being honored as sacred. You are the light of the world, says Matthew 5:14. Not a flicker, not a spark, but a city on a hill impossible to ignore, impossible to extinguish. This is why the enemy tried so hard to wear you down, to exhaust your spirit, to make you question your intuition, delay your decisions, silence your gifts. But it's too late. The illusion has broken. The fog has cleared. And now that you see who you are, you cannot unsee it. You've been recalibrated by truth, recommissioned by heaven, repositioned for what's next. So, where do you go from here? You move forward, not with arrogance, but with a deep, quiet peace. Not to prove your worth, but to live it. There's no need to explain who you are anymore. Your life will reveal it. Your presence will confirm it. You don't need revenge. You need only to remain aligned. But hear this. Do not let this awakening cause you to build higher walls. Do not let fear convince you to shut down again. The Most High says, I will be your defender. Let him guard what is precious. Let Michael be the sword at your back. Let truth walk ahead of you like a shield. Because this wasn't just a message, it was a mantle. And yes, the one who watched you is being transformed. But the greater transformation is yours, because you're no longer living beneath your identity. You're no longer shrinking your soul to survive. You are remembering who you were before the world taught you to forget. Every delay has been divine. every silence strategic, every heartbreak a hidden lesson. And now the pieces fall into place, not with chaos, but with clarity. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Psalm 23:5. The same table is being set now, not as a show of victory, but as a declaration of purpose. Because what was meant to break you is what's making you unshakable. This is your confirmation that your intuition was not just emotional, it was prophetic. That your pain was not in vain, it was preparation. That your silence wasn't weakness, it was sacred space for heaven to move. So, here is the truth you must carry now. You are not what they said. You are not what they searched for. You are exactly who God says you are. Chosen, covered, rising. Your next chapter is already unfolding, written in ink that cannot be erased. The one who once watched you from the shadows will now witness your public rising, not because of revenge, but because of divine release. You are no longer hidden. You are no longer fragile. You are no longer doubting. You are becoming. And heaven is watching with joy. Michael is standing guard. And the Lord is already waiting at your next beginning. Even now, as heaven draws the curtain on this revelation, the Lord is still speaking gently, intentionally, knowing your heart needs more than answers, it needs rest. You are not forgotten. You have not been invisible to heaven. The season you're stepping into is not random, it's the one everything has been building toward. The silence, the tension, the strange delays, they've all been part of a divine timeline that's finally arriving into view. And though the message has been spoken, your soul still leans in, hungry for closure, for peace. So let this be your final embrace from heaven before you step into what's next. The Lord sees how heavy it's been carrying questions that never found honest answers, wondering why some people chose manipulation over truth. Why someone couldn't simply speak to you with respect, but instead sent someone else to gather what you would have given freely if only they'd had the courage to ask. That pain is real. So is the loneliness that comes from seeing clearly in a world that hides, but none of it has gone unseen. You were designed this way. That sensitivity you carry, the knowing before anything is spoken, is not weakness. It is spiritual intelligence. Heaven built your discernment with intention. What others called paranoia was actually prophecy. Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. Amos 3-7. You've always felt the invisible currents before they touched the surface. That's why you were chosen for this message, because you would understand what others might dismiss. You've always known you were different. And yes, they saw it too. The one who sent someone to investigate you didn't do it out of hatred. They did it because your light unsettled them. What they couldn't understand, they feared. What they feared, they tried to control. And when control failed, they stepped back and simply watched, hoping to study your soul without offering their own. But something happened they never expected. When they allowed someone else into your atmosphere, they opened a spiritual door. And what was found wasn't weakness. It wasn't secrets. It wasn't anything they could use. It was God. It was purity. It was power that didn't need performance to be felt. That's what shook them. The man they hired, he was supposed to collect data, but instead he encountered divinity, and now even he is changed. Not because he was caught, but because he was convicted. Your life became a turning point, not just for you, but for someone who didn't even believe in that kind of light until they saw it resting on you. And now, heaven responds, not with applause, but with acceleration. This is not just another week. These are sacred days, appointed, marked, anointed. The weight you once carried is being replaced by clarity. Where doors were sealed, now they open. Where time once dragged, now it speeds. You are in divine motion, not because you pushed harder, but because your obedience aligned with divine timing. And yes, the one who started this chain of events is still watching. But now, their watching is not for control. It's from a place of reverence. They can't explain you. They no longer try to define you. They simply feel it, that the presence surrounding your life isn't ordinary. It is not something they can access without surrender. What they feel is God. But understand this, their confusion is not yours to solve. Their healing is not yours to carry. You were never responsible for the pain others refuse to confront. Your light may stir their shadows, but it is not your duty to stay small so they feel safe. Your only call is to keep shining, to rise, to love without losing yourself, to stay soft without staying silent. Because every step, every tear, every moment you chose love over resentment was building this moment. This is the shift, where watchers become learners, where your quiet becomes your sermon, where your peace becomes your proof. You don't need to send a message. You don't need to confront anyone. Just keep walking in the presence of God and let your life reveal what heaven has already written. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Psalm 23:5. This is that table. You will no longer strive to be seen. You will not have to justify your presence. The same voices that questioned you will soon confess, surely the hand of God is upon them. No more pleading, no more proving, no more explaining. The verdict has already been declared in heaven. You are chosen, you are whole, you are rising. Even now, as your heart begins to settle and your soul exhales, heaven has not stepped away. Michael still stands beside you, unmoved, unwavering. Through the night, he will remain close. He will guard your rest, your thoughts, your space. And when you wake, you'll know. The weight has lifted, not because the battle never came, but because victory has already been written. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. And the chapter ahead is titled Unstoppable. You've arrived at a holy intersection where everything behind you begins to make sense, and everything ahead of you begins to unfold with purpose. But before you step forward, there's one more truth heaven wants to anchor deep within you. What's happening inside of you is not just a breakthrough, it's a rebirth. This year has tested you in ways no one fully sees. The pressure, the delays, the strange silence that wrapped itself around your progress, it wasn't punishment, it was spiritual tension. Because something inside of you was shifting, quietly, fiercely, eternally. You were stepping out of who the world told you to be and back into who God created you to become. And though the enemy tried to interfere through distraction, through exhaustion, through fear, he was too late. You've already crossed over. The fire didn't consume you. It refined you. Now, you are walking in the realm where peace doesn't depend on circumstances, and miracles are no longer distant, they walk beside you. Your spirit has entered the zone where clarity overtakes confusion, where divine timing takes precedence over striving. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. And what comes next? A moment is approaching, quiet, subtle, but unmistakably divine. A message, a conversation, a word spoken at just the right time. It will feel small on the surface, but deep in your spirit, something will unlock. And in that instant, you'll know, God saw me. He heard every prayer. He meant every promise. The chain reaction begins there, not because you earned it, but because you're finally ready to receive it. You're not who you were even a week ago. Growth happened in the unseen. Healing occurred in pieces. But now, your soul is ready to be whole. You're ready for love that doesn't wound, for opportunities that nourish rather than drain, for community that protects, not performs. And yes, the one your heart has longed for, prepared by heaven, shaped by fire, has either entered or is being placed gently into your story. This person won't diminish your light, they'll honor it. They'll love your journey as much as your strength, and it will feel like peace, not performance, not confusion, just peace. Stay open. Don't push it away because of what hurt you before. Let it in because God sent it. And when God sends someone, they don't leave you the same. Tonight, as the heavens hold still over your name, speak life over yourself. Look at your reflection and say, I am chosen, I am worthy, I am ready, my miracle is here. Speak it until your fear breaks, until your doubt bends, until your own voice sounds like a prophecy spoken straight from glory, because you are not late, you have not missed it. You are right on time for what heaven has already prepared. He has made everything beautiful in its time.